He's back. I really thought I was going to skip it today. I really thought I had this down. I was going to skip this entirely today. Let me clean off these glasses a little bit because they, for some reason, seem a wee bit greasy. Could it have something to do with the fact that I'm a little bit greasy myself here? Um, Another wonderfully brutal workout. But I found my favorite new drink. I've got a new little cocktail mix here of fizzy water and grape and apple juice. It's delicious. This is the way I roll now with my horribly fit fruit juice and fizzy water things. Hello, single solitary soul. It's such a weird time. I was doing some filming today, so I wouldn't normally be doing my burn alerts at this late hour, but I felt like I had to do something because I didn't do anything yesterday, and it was just I think I may possibly be at the point now with this exercise thing that if I don't do it, I think I might feel worse if I don't do it, not physically, just like I just feel like I'm somehow, failing myself somehow if I don't do these things now. So I have to thank you for that, because that's a lot of you folks out there who've managed to guilt me into this. What do we got here? We've got Thane Selly. How are you? Nick Butler. Hello, David. Hello from down the road from Red Hill. Oh, what a fantastic place. How's the plaque? I'm assuming there's a plaque somewhere there about me being born down there, isn't there? It must be. It's so what you do in the UK with incredibly famous people like myself, I'm sure. Keep the exercise going. It helps old Muppets like me feel like we still can. Well, that's good, Nick. I am also an old Muppet. Hello, Paul. How are you? Zaki Thingy, Mr. Hewlett, I've been a big fan of yours since SG1 Atlantis, so thank you very much. I've been watching your post-workouts. It's wonderful to see you are an amazing, sweet person. It's all a lie. It's the reality is, as soon as I turn off the camera, I just scream and shout, really. I'm just a grumpy old man. But thank you. That's very sweet. The Stargate days were a lot of fun, I've got to say. Look at me. I'm misting up my glasses now. That's how sweaty I am. I did 30 minutes, though. I didn't think I was going to, because I was on set today. I had to film, so I had to get out of bed at 4:45 a.m., which I know I should not complain about, but I will, because I'm me. No, I won't complain. It was so 4:45. I had a 5:15 pickup today, so I sort of got dragged onto set, thrown into prosthetics for an hour or so. They are just, God, they are amazingly wonderful, mad, crazy people. The people who do the prosthetics, who do sort of all this, the crazy makeup effects with foams and gels and rubbers, this stuff and all the crap that they put on your face. They're just an incredibly eclectic bunch of people, because they're artists, but they're craftsmen. They're also working with budgets and big departments, and this show, the show that will not be named because I'll get in trouble for saying anything at this point, is in its It's in its second season. So it's been running for a while, and it is a big machine. Of which I am now about to become part of. So I've just done a little bit of stuff for them, and then Jesus, good God, I'm knocking. Lucky you didn't knock my damn teeth out, waving my arms around. So it sort of kicks into high gear for me in May, but I think they have a little break coming up, and so I have a very big break coming up. Actually, no, I don't have a big break coming up, because it sounds like I'm doing some more Clarice as well. So that's going to be fun. I feel really bad. I've been getting all these offers to do sort of Dungeons and Dragons things, and either Dungeons and Dragons things or the RPG game for Stargate, which I really, really enjoyed doing last time. But I feel like I'm kind of, dare I say, is it possible I have internet fatigue? No, it can't be internet fatigue, because I still love the internet. I feel like I do so many chats and so many things with the tech bandits and stuff now that I can't bear the thought of doing more right now. Or I'm not sure that I've got I can't get my head around the idea of doing any more than I'm already doing right now. So I've sort of been holding off on everything from interviews to podcasts to everything, just in order to sort of just to get up to speed again. Tech Bandits keeps getting away from me every week. It gets away from me with notes and show notes and posting stuff onto the techbandits.com and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to sort of catch up on that. I was supposed to hire an editor. I actually found someone in Czech Republic, I think. No, it was either Czech Republic or Croatia. I can't remember now. Who was willing to do it for me, and of course I haven't had time to get them the notes to do it. So that'll be on the list of things to do. Of course, I've still got a bathroom in complete disarray upstairs that I'm very good at destroying things. I'm not so good at putting them back together again. I'm very similar to McKay that way. McKay's much better at destroying solar systems and bathrooms than he is putting them back together again by the looks of it. I wondered if you were going on today. I know, Fox Girl, it's really late, but here's the thing. So 5:15 pickup. Got the filming all done, basically by noonish or so. Thought, I've got a bit of time. I'll see if I can have a chat with Randy the Magic Man, who is going to be doing some really cool. It sounds like he's got some great stuff for us for Tech Bandits on Thursday, and it was just really fun to catch. I like to, it's nice to have a chat with people before you actually do the Tech Bandit stuff, so that as I was joking the other day, so that they're not, as far as you can tell, they're not like, complete psychos, like myself. And also, it's just nice because then I get a little learning in there as well, right? It's not all about the kids, because, the kids should come second, really, to me. So yeah, just a really fun chat. As always, kindred spirits. It's always nice to talk to a kindred spirit, and I highly recommend you go check out Randy the Magician. Randy the Magic Man. I did it again. Randy Hart, the Magic Man. There you go. He was teaching me memory tricks as well. So he's got a bunch of stuff to talk to us about on Thursday. And if he shows up in any of these streams or on Twitter or whatever, I actually need your Twitter handle. Actually, Randy the Magic Man. If you do have a Twitter handle, you should definitely let me have it so I can tweet a little hello as well. Anyway, so we're talking to Randy on Thursday, so that was kind of fun to catch up with him before I'd expected to, which means I'm actually ahead a little bit, sort of. I'm going to have a dog walk tomorrow, early. I think an early-ish dog walk. I mean, not crazy early, but early for me. So I'm going to go walk with an old friend of mine with the dog and catch up with her. And then I will be doing a Jack Jasra art stream. Jack Jasra, looking forward to it. Jack does everything has done everything, all the emoticon things, all of the Twitch stuff that we've got on there, little Twitch emotes and stuff. And of course the Tech Bandits logo itself. So I'm a big fan of Jack Jasra, not even just as an artist. He's a fantastic, amazing artist, but he's also just a great guy. So I'm going to go hang out on his stream tomorrow. So go check out Jack Jasra on Twitch. I'm not sure exactly what time, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. No, I know. Now I've said I'm ahead. I've jinxed it. It's so true, Beth. Yeah, Beth, you're right. You're right. The other thing I discovered is you can't really see it here. You're probably going to see oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. So they colored my hair. They put this colored mousse in my hair to match the wig thing that they've got. I think they were just trying to politely cover my bald spot. But so there's this wig thing as well as all this prosthetic stuff, so I've got like this. I got this sort of, what is it? It's like liquid copper or I don't know, or mousy brown or something that they've combed into my hair. And of course, every time I get in the shower these days, it's just like a complete rain of coppery ready, gunk. So probably not the best way to be on my torture device. But I just, as I say, I just wanted to get some exercise today. I just needed to do something because I felt so wrong not doing anything yesterday. So trying to keep up with it. How was it watching yourself on TV with the family? It's always a bit weird. I think I'm more nervous about what Jane and Baz have to say about stuff than I am of my own. I hate everything I do. Everything I look at, I go, whatever. The weird thing I've discovered recently, though, was so for example, in Clarice, for those of you who have seen it, in episode 4, which is sort of when I first showed up, there were a few scenes that we did that they had a fair amount of back and forth, and we did a scene before lunch, and we got everyone's close up, and then we were about to turn around on me, and then they were like, "Okay, we're gonna go and have lunch." So they had lunch, they come back, and No problem getting through the scene at all. None at all until lunch. Then I went and had my, I went and had my, what was it, chicken parmigiana or something. And of course, it's COVID, so you're sitting by yourself in your trailer, just like, eating your food, looking at the interwebs. And so I come out and I have my food. I've had my food, and I go and I get back on set, and they go, okay, great. This should be no problem at all. Here we go. We've done it a million times. Here we go. And action, go. And I'm like, oh dear. Like, I flushed the lines. My brain had just gone, and I just kept screwing it up. So you had to keep breaking it up, which I hate doing because I like to just do a nice run of the whole scene. It's nice for all the other actors and everything, but it's just on me, so I'm not feeling too guilty. It's like I'm really just shooting myself in the foot. So we do the whole scene like that. We finally get through it, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like my first, it's my first episode, and I'm like, I know lines. Like, I'm good at lines, and thankfully they'd already seen me do all of the lines, without any problems until after my chicken parmigiana. So we now refer to it as, I'm going to make sure that I don't chicken parmigiana that scene. And, but again, everyone is absolutely lovely about it and was incredibly polite and understanding and patient and sort of walked me through, and we got through the whole thing anyways. So then we go on to the next scene, no problem, whatever. I mean, there's something about, for some reason, I think it's because it's been a while, I suppose, because I haven't had an awful lot to do or say in a long period of time, right? Even on Nightmare Alley. Oh, am I allowed to say that? Oh dear, never mind. Even on something else I did during the pandemic, or beginning of the pandemic and the end of the pandemic, even that, there wasn't a ton of dialogue, so it wasn't hard to remember the dialogue. But the idea of actually sitting down and having like a big chunk of stuff, I think honestly, I think I'm just out of practice. I think it's like a brain thing. I think it's a bit like the torture device. If you don't do it every day, you lose the thread a little bit. So that was really interesting. But what was really fascinating to me, and I think kind of both terrifying and very comforting at the same time, was when I watched the show, I don't remember which scene it was. So I watched the cut scenes. I watched the whole show together. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying watching Clarice, by the way. I gotta catch up. I missed last week. I feel bad because last week is a really good episode. So I want to see how that's sorted out. I've seen some of them in, but just in read through mode, like with just all the little squares of all the actors on the screen. And I kick back and I grab my popcorn and I mute the microphone, and I get to watch it, right? If I'm not in other scenes, or I'm not even in that episode, sometimes I'll just kick back and watch it anyways, because it's just I don't know what it is. There's something about it. I've sort of taken an interest again in sort of the process and how the actors, how sort of younger and older, in some cases, generations, work, and it's just kind of fun to watch. And also, I think really what I'm saying is I quite enjoy the show, like, because it is all sort of intrigue and mystery and murder and stuff, so it's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so when I watched the show, I had no idea. I literally, to this day, I couldn't tell you what scenes they were. I don't know. I mean, unless I went back and looked at the call sheet and looked at the scene numbers and figured it out, I wouldn't be able to tell you which scenes I had the problems with and which ones I did. And the reality is that it's something that I think people forget about a lot with acting, or just don't know about acting, is that, the acting is just a tiny little part of the whole process, right? I mean, you've got the big brains that actually make up this stuff in the first place, who make up the lines and write the lines, the writers. Then you've got a director who's interpreting that script and putting it onto screen. Then, the actors come staggering in, think they're very important, and we say our lines, and we think that's it. Well, it's done. The show is just basically being made. Well, no, because then they got sound, and then they've got editing, and there's so many different parts to the process that you are just a tiny little piece of. I never quite understood why actors have huge egos, because their egos are ridiculously disproportionate to the true amount of work you do in the whole thing. I mean, there's years in the making, and then months and months of prep, and then hundreds and hundreds of people, and then you step on set just to say a few lines, and you think you're done. But the editing is so freaking important. And what I love about shows with a budget, you know what I mean? Stargate had okay money. I mean, they did pretty well with the money, with the budgets for the shows, but they were not considerable given what we were doing, especially when you're creating new worlds and you're creating science fiction stuff. They didn't have huge budgets, and a lot of that budget comes from like time on set. So we were shooting episodes in like 5 6 days, and that's an hour of television in a very, very short period of time. With limited resources. So what happens is you get a lot of scenes where people are talking for a long period of time, and they try not to cut, right? So it's it's as few cuts as possible, because every time you got a new angle, you got to stop the scene, you got to go change the camera, you got to change where the camera is, you got to change the lighting, you got to start all over again. And actors get bored, and the crew gets bored, and of course not when I'm talking. Of course, they're never bored when I'm talking, but when I'm acting. So it just can be kind of exhausting. So when you're in those scenes, so the scenes like on Stargate that were the hardest ones to shoot, frankly, were the ones where you had all of us sitting around a desk talking, because you have to cover everyone, right? So for every time there's 6 people in the scene, you're looking at least 7 times through the scene, because you'll have one wide shot to establish everything, and then you'll have at least a close-up of everybody at some point, or a medium of this bunch and a medium of this bunch. But pretty much when it comes to television, you kind of, if you're talking, you're on camera at some point. So those scenes were just like, oh my God, you just wanted to start tearing out your eyelashes. It was like they went on forever. Luckily, I was usually the one doing all the talking, so that was always fun. Momoa used to say that "Oh God, you think it's tough. You think it's tough saying all those lines. You try listening to them." So, but he's not wrong. Standing around a scene with nothing to say is very, very difficult. And, there's only so much reacting that someone can do. Well, unless you're me. I react all the time. I'm like, you do not want to be stuck. You do not want to be stuck doing something important on film with me in the background, because I will be freaking reacting my little mind out. No, I'm not. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't say that, because I'm not that bad. But it, I do tend to enjoy myself a little too much when it comes to those things. Just the idea that the editing of this stuff makes such a difference. So the big shows like Clarice that I think have a substantial network budget for these things. They can afford to have multiple cameras. They can afford to have, and again, each camera needs a little crew. So there's, it says like 4 or 5 people for each one of those cameras. So a couple of cameras, and multiple setups. So you'll get long lens stuff where they sort of go further back and they get it on sort of telephoto. They do really close stuff. They do cool little shots of, hands and feet and, just little character-y things. So you're doing the scenes quite a few times, but what the money buys you is time, and the time to work on scenes and try stuff out. There are many times on Stargate where it was just like, oh my God, we got 20 minutes before lunch. We got to get this scene. Go walk and talk. You know what I mean? And that's that kind of stuff. So it's a lovely sort of luxury for a much older David to be sort of spouting this stuff and having, the time to work stuff out, or in my case, time to forget the lines. And also when you see the show, just the number of different shots they have. So if a scene's not going well on this shot, you got another shot over there looking between, from you to someone else, or there's a 2 shot, or there's a 3 shot, or there's the big crane shot, or whatever. So there's just lots of stuff to cut to, and it just makes for a really much more sort of enjoyable sort of viewing experience. And then as an actor, it's just fantastic, because it's basically, you just go like, aha, perfect. It's like, it becomes like wildlife footage. It's basically, the editor is going through just picking all the best parts and shoving them in there for telling the story. And really an editor in a big part is what makes a performance. And I realize in all the years that I've been doing Stargate, I don't think I've ever really called out the editors on that, because the fact of the matter is, you can be as brilliant as you want. If the editor doesn't cut to you when it comes to the editing of the show, no one knows it's there. So, the fact of the matter is that the editors went to me a lot on my stuff. And as a result, I think really, really helped make that happen. I mean, you got great writing, you got great directors, you've got of course, brilliant performances. And then of course the editors are the ones who sort of have to tie all this stuff together. Like, you got this beautiful long one shot, but when you start watching the show, it takes too long. So what am I going to cut to? And the editor is responsible for, maybe they have to pull a shot from another scene, or maybe they have to get creative with some, with the way they take chunks out, little dissolves and things like that. So many tricks. It's problem solving, and creative at the same time. It's editing is an absolutely wonderful thing. To behold, to watch these things turn from sort of raw footage into actual cinematic, finished products. So yeah, amazing job of editing with Clarice. And again, I'd have to say, who do you thank for McKay? I mean, obviously, first and foremost, writers for coming up with this stuff, and then the editors for cutting together, that wildlife footage of McKay in McKay in the wild, and putting it together into something that actually makes sense, and that's flattering both for the character and for me as well, makes me look good. So it is amazing how many people are involved in the process of making television. And as I get older and more sentimental about these things, I realize how many people have made this possible. You know what I mean? Anyways, all right. Thank you, Fox Girl. What's that? We thank you, David. We thank you. Oh, thank you. You're welcome for whatever I've done. What would be a coincidence? My light bulb in my bedroom blew unexpectedly earlier. The writing was phenomenal in all the Stargate series, and out without doing greatest sci-fi show ever created, without doubt. I'm guessing greatest sci-fi show ever. I'd have to agree, of course. Although I did like Firefly a lot too. And Battlestar. I love Battlestar too. And, this, Doctor Who. But, anyways. We watched Cube a few days ago for the first time since the late 90s. Wow. I was surprised how well it aged. Back then, we rented the movie on VHS multiple times. Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? There's a really fun, for Cube, there's a really fun commentary that we did. My friends and I did for that. We all just sort of like hung out, basically. We basically hung out and watched the movie like we would watch movies ourselves. So if you want to get a sense of what it was like growing up, with Hewlett and Vincenzo and Andre and Andrew and the boy. Actually, was Andrew in that one? I can't remember now who was there. But just, yeah, it was really fun. I don't know how informative it was, but it was a very fun commentary to do. I remember that. The other one that's kind of fun is Dog's Breakfast as well, because I think I had my mum in for that. Horrid mummy helping me with the commentary, which was kind of fun. All right. What is it? Were you involved in the editing of Dog's Breakfast? I was, absolutely. Watched that for the first time last week. Bloody brilliant and hilarious. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I was definitely involved in the editing for that, but James, who I get that right, James? Who edited it he's brilliant. He's fantastic. He really, he made decisions that I never ever would have thought of, and he just, he made that thing sing. It really, that was an editing feat, because there was a lot of stuff. That was my first time I'd ever directed, and I was very well prepared for that film. Very, very well prepared. I knew what I was getting into to a large extent, and I also knew that in order to make things happen, I had to sort of think on my feet and had to rewrite stuff if necessary. And so we did a lot of that. And we were adamant about staying within budget as well. We were very, very strict about staying on budget. So, oh my gosh, Hanna Gunson, thank you very much. Hanna Gunson, that's a great name too. Jesus, you sound like a superhero. What was the best scene for you in Stargate? Oh my God, that's a hard one. I don't know. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. There were so many. For different moments. For romance, there was. How do you're going to make me choose between like Amanda and Jewel State? For acting, you're working with, Neil deGrasse Tyson and for just general nerdiness, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye. Dave Foley, another one. There were just so many things. What do I think of as my favorite scenes? Some of my favorite scenes are scenes that I hated shooting. That's the other thing that's really weird. It's just like when you look back, you realize what a wonderful experience it was. And at the time, you're like, oh, I'm wet and I'm cold. So, honestly, I don't even know how to answer that. I truly don't know how to answer that. I've said this before, I think, one of my favorite moments in the whole series thing was when Brad Wright walked me through the Atlantis set for the first time. And everyone was out shooting on location. I'd come in a bit later. And he walked me through the set. And that was just like, I was like, it's not like a set. Like a freaking space city. So that was kind of cool. And thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't even say thank you so much for the what do we call it? Something talk chat. Super chat for the super chat stuff. That, by the way, is €5 that is going towards Tech Bandits, and I thank you very much for that. At £10, what? No, is that two of them now? Did you just do it twice? Friday the 13th actor Gunnar Hansen. So Hanna Gunsen. Ah, very good. Oh, that makes sense. Sounds good. Oh, God. Well, working with Shanks is always a pleasure. Dave Foley, I know. Invisible Dimensions. I know. I worked with freaking Dave Foley. Like Kids in the Hall. I was like freaking out about that. I thought that was amazing. All right. Well, everyone has their own little favorites. Like when it's nice having. I got to say another moment that stands out actually was Kate standing on the bridge looking out over Earth. I think is that what they ended up putting in there because it was green screen for us. So it's hard for me to remember. And it was her sort of realization that the Stargate program was a reality. And for me, it was also just fun to watch my little sister acting up a storm. Because of course I taught her everything she knows, so naturally she's brilliant. She's not different. I think I gave her any advice ever on acting that she took. But it was that moment of her realizing that this thing was real, and that was, as a sci-fi nerd, kind of like you get the little hairs in the back of your neck, or in the case of now, probably the hair that runs down all over my back, I'm sure at this point. But having those stand up on end, the little goosebumps that you get of that feeling of like when I first discovered Doctor Who and the TARDIS was explained to me, or that one of the new companions walked into the TARDIS. It was that wonderful sort of sense of hope that one has as a sci-fi fan that this is real. You know what I mean? I knew it. You know what I mean? Like and so I loved that scene, for many reasons. Obviously, watching my little sister acting and being, a part of the whole thing, and also just as a character thing. To me, that was always what I loved about Stargate, was that it played on that contemporary thing, that the idea was this is happening now. We could reference TV shows that are on right now. We could reference, that it just somehow made it connected. It made it slightly more real, I think. So anyways, there was that. What do you got? Did I just see some other stuff happening here? What's going on? It's a flurry of activity. Honor, thank you again. Emperador, what do you got? Questions? Questions. I'm just gonna call you. I can't call you questions. I have one of my favorite people is a director who I call questions. So Emperador, I can't call you questions. What's questions in like Spanish or something? So I could do that. Have you thought about how many lives you have influenced? Wait, you trying to make me feel bad? I mean, look, I don't know about me. I mean, my character's influence maybe, but I mean, the lives I've influenced, thank you. That's very kind of you. I think from a my character McKay has, now you got me all flustered. My character McKay, I think, has inspired people, and I think that's both good and bad. It's not an excuse to act like a jerk if you think you're McKay-like. I think we all have a bit of McKay in us, and I think that's what I think probably appeals to that our people is people's appeal to McKay. But yeah, I think his character certainly. I mean, one of the reasons I started Stargate. One of the reasons why I started Tech Bandits was because one of the things I most loved about Stargate was people coming up and saying like, "Oh my God, I'm an astrophysicist because of you," or "I'm going to join the space program," or or I'm even people who were like into sort of biotech and stuff were coming up and talking to me about what they were doing in reference to this idea that that scientists aren't all. I mean, they can be jerks, but they can also be brilliant. So that was always a huge appeal to me, and I think part of my reason for wanting to do Tech Bandits is because I can sort of do that a little bit with kids now. Because I mean, when I was 13 or 14 years old, the people who I talked to, the people who sort of took me under their wing, Father Michael, who was the acting teacher at the school I was at, Mr. Stevenson, another one who got me into a play when I was it was in junior school. I wasn't supposed to be in the plays, but they put me in a play because they realized that it was something that I could do, that I loved doing, and I certainly wasn't going to excel in any in any of the other academic fields. I realized I'm so, oh God, my skin is just like hating the prosthetics. You wait, when we start back up again, I'm going to be just like a walking spot. I'm going to be like Jabba the pustule. All right. I really like that. Okay, what do we got? There we go. There we go. There we go. Did I finish that? I finished that. Thank you, Imperador. But yeah, I think it's important to remember that there is a character in there. That's not me. There's a bit of me in there, just not the smart stuff. So I think the idea that Sam Carter is far more, to me, is a far more sort of inspiring character, because she's inspiring women in a role that they're not normally, they had not normally been sort of seen on and portrayed on television, and also in just this systemically sexist world that we've grown up in. I think she is a much bigger inspiration for people going forward. So, Hunter, what are you doing? Like, have you fallen asleep on the donate €5 button or something? One more. Stargate got me through my 3 back surgeries. Oh wow! When I couldn't leave my couch, it was a huge part in keeping me in senses. Oh well. Thank you. Well, in that case, those back surgeries are expensive. So there should really be more coming in. I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. Thank you very, very much. I think, look, this is part of the thing about science fiction, I think, is it's escapist. It's escapist, right? It's the whole point is I didn't watch Doctor Who to be reminded about what the world's like. I watched Doctor Who to think what the world could be, I think that's the beauty of science fiction. Even when it's sort of nihilistic science fiction, I think there are sort of elements of wonder, elements of dreaming, elements of engineering. Basically, it's the first stage of engineering. It's the dreaming phase, right? So I think that's great. I'm glad. Well, look, I'm glad if we can be of some kind of pain relief to you. Normally, I'm a pain in the ass as opposed to relieving a pain in the back. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all night. What do we got? Stargate is being removed from Amazon Prime. Ugh, that sucks. So you bought the DVDs? Nice. Oh my God, DVDs. God, I can't even bear the thought of a DVD right now. All the moving, with the discs and the switching and here goes the furnace. It's cold. God, it's sort of become winter again today. Herbert, wow, thank you very much. Thanks for the good times, my good sir. Oh, well, you're welcome. Thank you very much. What's with Europe? Europe's awake and throwing money at me. Dorte, thank you very much. Oh my God, Lucas, what are you guys doing? What the hell, Lucas? Thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Look, you don't have to do, oh my God, I feel silly saying this, but you don't have to do this. I'm really just I'm here to guilt myself into exercising. But if you want to but you know what am I saying? Thank you, because this is going to Tech Bandit stuff. It's not, so there you go. Tech Bandits, and there may be some Magic the Gathering cards involved in this as well. I like to think it's for the Tech Bandits as well, because we'll get them all playing Magic the Gathering as well. But there may be some. Yeah, it's possible there may be some funding of Magic the Gathering cards and possibly some Lego figures as well. I'm just warning you, just to be complete transparency on this stuff. Talking to them about speculation and stuff. Anyways, I still buy physical media as well. I'm basically digital except for comic books or graphic novels. For those of us who want to sound like we're far more erudite than we are. Comic books are really the only thing I buy physical copies of anymore. Books are all done on the Kindle. The Kindle app. I don't have to buy the stupid Kindle things. I just use it on my phone, or Audible and stuff like that. Music is all streaming, basically. I suppose, are we supposed to be? Someone was complaining about. There's a bunch of people complaining about Spotify, whether they're not. I don't know if they're not being transparent or something. I don't know what the deal on that is, but we've used Spotify for a while now. Quite enjoy it, honestly. I think there are artists that I would never have played that I have discovered or rediscovered on Spotify. So, oh my God, Robert, thank you very much. Oh my God, I joined the military because of you, Stargate. So, a little thank you. So was it as exciting an experience as as my Stargate adventures. What is it? Oh, because of, okay, I was gonna say you joined the military because of Stargate, not because of McKay. That's good. That's good. If you joined the military because of McKay, you would probably be the worst soldier ever. So I'm very thankful that was that was a Stargate inspiration, not a McKay inspiration. But thank you very much, Robert. That's very kind of you. Oh, Piotr Siwak. I don't know how to say that, but thank you so much. That's from Europe with Love. It sounds like a Bond movie. I feel very Bond now. Thank you. Thank you for your Bond-like compliments. Randy, the Magic Man. There you go. He's here all night. Tip your waitress, folks. I know it's so true, isn't it? I get tired and cheesy. Poor Randy's already had to speak to me today. So Randy, yes. So obviously go check out Randy, the Magic Man. The website I think is just randythemagicman.com, right? Isn't that? I think that's what it is. I was checking that out earlier today, and we're going to be talking to him on Thursday. So, and this is some really interesting stuff. So, I have a feeling we're gonna leave Thursday with a magical, not just magic, but also a magical sense of self-improvement as well, by the sound of it. So, and maybe it's possible he may also have read my mind. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Actually, should I be nervous, Randy, about this whole reading your mind thing? What if you find, horrible dark secrets that I've been hiding away all this time? What if you find the skeletons that I've buried in the? Never mind. Right. I use iHeart myself. I haven't had any problems. Oh, that's the iHeart Radio thing. I remember that, but I remember that. Dad, gotta go brush my teeth so I don't wake my parents. Yes, go brush your teeth so you don't wake your parents. Good idea, Hotmail Company. Be right back. Hotmail Company's going to come back with much nicer dental wear, I think, probably. I always felt bad for Radek, but couldn't stop laughing at your scenes together. We did have fun with those, Tommy Boy. They were, yeah. I mean, I feel a little bad for David Nichol, who played Zelenka, because, the snappiness didn't always stop when we stopped the scenes. I mean, it's very hard to turn off that kind of like, oh, shut up kind of approach to things very quickly. So he was always very, very, very kind, understanding, and a giving actor, that man, I've got to say. Oh, Fox Girl, what are you doing throwing money around? Canadian money, no less. I accidentally got into Stargate. It was on after Castle. Oh, Castle. I love that guy. Isn't he? Nathan Fillion's just so freaking cool. I wish I was Nathan. When I grew up, I want to be Nathan Fillion. But it was SGA and McKay that got me hooked. He's been a big influence on my writing. Ooh, good. So lots of nice, nuanced, and yet somewhat flawed characters, I'm hoping there, Fox Girl. Now I'm curious about the skeletons. I'm not that exciting. I wish I had exciting things to tell you. I really don't. Ancient Library versus Electronic Memory. This is addressed in SGA. Ancient Libraries versus Electronic Memory. Yes, I suppose. I mean, I'm really fascinated by the idea of DNA memory, of memory being used, of using, strands or some sort of approach to coding with biotech. I mean, that sounds fascinating. I think Microsoft is working on something like that. Because you think about it, think about the huge amounts of information held in DNA and how that could be used as a source of information moving forward, and it's designed to replicate with minimal mutations, for want of a better word, and it's lasted how many thousands of millions of years? No, not thousands of millions of years, I suppose, but it's just been around for a while. So it seems fairly robust and not too error prone. And I imagine is probably quite good at storing stuff, because you're not just storing ones and zeros, right? You'd have a series of possible letters that you could code for. I mean, it was really neat. I just think that's a possibility. I like the sound of that, anyways. I like the bioneutral gel from Star Trek Voyager. Oh, see, I got to get up to speed on this stuff. As the Russians on Arrows, David Nichol did great. As the Russian on air. Oh, right, of course. Yeah. Of course he did. Amazing how actors can change up who they are so much. Such a polar opposite character, and he crushed it. Great actor. Yeah, he really is. Well put, Jack. And oh my God. All right, so Lucas, with your check something or another's. What have you got here? I don't know what that is. Is it check? Is that what a CZK is, but thank you very, very much for that. I send greetings. Yeah, it is. There you go. It's answered his own question. I send greetings from the Czech Republic. Woohoo! You're my favorite actor together with Joe Flanagan. Well, I'll try to avoid the Joe Flanagan part. I love you. Your fan, Lucas. Oh, Lucas, thank you very, very much. And that's very, very kind of you to help out the Tech Bandits like that. That's, I appreciate that. It allows me to have some fun, I've got to say, or even more fun, shall we say. I'm feeling very, very fortunate of late. My father, I think, is signed up for a vaccination now. I can't believe it's only signed up. He hasn't actually had it yet. And he's going to have the vaccination, and then it's something like 4 months later, he gets the second one, which is somewhat frustrating, but at least we've started that way. Oh my God, I've got that black hair stuff all over me. God damn it. They also had to color in my beard because I'm too Santa Claus, apparently. This is even darker than it normally looks. But so they had to not only that, they had to fill it in here as well. So I've got this very manly looking facial hair coming. And Jack Levy got vaccinated yesterday just to make me feel great. Thanks, Jack. The Czech Corona. Thank you very much, Fox Girl, for filling me in on that. All this Tech Bandit coffers money. I expect to see all the bandits with a deck of cards on Thursday. Yeah, they should all have, yes, they're right. They'll all have their own. Maybe we could do, what if I wonder if Spreadshirt or one of these companies does, I bet you they must do custom playing cards, right? So I could do some Tech Bandits cards, like Tech Bandits on the back side and just a regular card face on the other. That'd be cool. Do I need cards, Randy? Do I need a pack of cards for Thursday? These are the things I need to know. All right. Gervais is saying, for RNA encoding, you are not limited to the 4-letter that we use in our DNA. Other molecule can be used to expand the combination. Woohoo! We're going to do this. This is awesome. All right. Oh my God. That sign up website business. What a mess. I know. Isn't it? Rebel Time Lady. What a freaking shambles. I cannot believe how we just look like a bunch of, we look like we just look like a village of idiots, stumbling around by coincidentally not being wiped out by the virus. I just don't know what we've done that we've managed to dodge. Our numbers are, I guess we've got a smaller population. They're less concentrated. But anywhere that there's a concentration of people in Canada, we're seeing upticks and stuff. And it's the new variant. This, they're saying it's predominantly the British variant. Is it British? It's not really British, is it? It just happened. Look, the great thing about viruses is, the beautiful thing about viruses, they suck. They suck at replicating. They're very good at replicating, but they're very bad at it. So they mutate all the time. I love it. So they suck at, what is it? They're great at multiplying, but they suck at getting the numbers right. So they'll often, because they're so sort of slipshod in their approach to rapidly increasing in numbers, there's much more likelihood of mutations, and of course those mutations can sometimes make them much better at their little viral jobs, as many of these variants have. What is it? The original variant was 1.04 or something, and then this new one is I can't remember what it is. I'm not going to make up numbers, and I shouldn't be making up numbers. But the point being is that this new one has got a replication number that is, pretty sizably more than the last one, and this is the one that's showing up all over the place. So I'm looking forward to old man Hewlett. I shouldn't say that. My dad actually probably looks younger than I do. I probably look more like my father I probably look more like the age that my father should be than my father does at this point. David Nichol was lovely during filming. Poor guy. He was basically mumbling under his breath about me the entire time, I'm sure. I had me vaccine. I think I see what you're saying there. I had my vaccine at the weekend, and my autistic son, your son with autism, is next week here in England. Oh, fantastic. Oh, good, Steve. Well, good luck both to you. Well done on getting that vaccine, and to your son. You cannot dissolve it. What am I not dissolving? Don't worry. There are states in the U.S. that can't get their vaccination programs. I live near Philly, and they just now starting to get their act together, even though the neighbors are set. Yeah, we are. What's shameful right now is we are only just registering 80-year-olds. They should be vaccinated by now. We should be well into this by now. We saw this coming a long way off. I'm amazed that they haven't been more on top of this. I gotta go. I realize I've been talking for 3/4 of an hour, for God's sake. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. What have I missed here? Did I miss something? Oh my God, I did. I missed Robert Smart. Thank you very much. I did get into tech because of you and now work at Microsoft. Woohoo! All right. You enjoying that, Robert? That's great. Oh, that's cool. Oh, God. I used to dream about working at Microsoft. I read a book by Douglas Copeland called Microserfs, and the idea of like watching this, went back in the early days when they got stock, and you could watch the stock go up while you were working at the company. And I wanted to be a programmer so badly, like so badly. I suck at programming, but I'm too distracted. But I mean, I can do a little bit of it. I've played with it, since the basic days on the Commodore 64. But if I were to, in an alternate universe, I think one of the Hewletts went off into computer programming, and I'm jealous of him because that's fantastic. Oh well, I'm so glad. I'm very glad that makes me very happy that somebody got to live that Microsoft dream, because that is very, very cool. It's neat to talk to. I don't know if you follow Barnacules at all, but Barnacules used to work at Microsoft too. Has had some has not the most pleasant things to say about them all the time, but certainly has some very obviously somewhat fond recollections of working there. So I'm glad, Robert. I'm very happy for you. Thank you. See what I started? I know, Hannah. Thank you so much. You don't have to give me another €5 to tell me that you. Thank you. You've started. Oh my God. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Look. Thank you so much to everyone. I've got to. I gotta go. I gotta go get changed and get dinner sorted, and then walk a dog. And oh my God, there's so many people chatting. I'm missing all these people. I'm so sorry. All right. Yes. Another programmer. Good night to you too, Jordan. I can't God bless you because I'm afraid I'm not a believer of that. But should I send my drawings of McKay to you through Twitter? Oh, it's on my channel and Discord in a minute-long video. In a minute-long video, is it? All right, I will do my best just to fry art. All right, I don't get much into programming. I mainly do work with collaboration. Oh, cool, Robert. That's amazing. I can teach you programming if you want. Thank you very much. Source 22 demo. What are you a programmer yourself? As someone who's been a programmer for 15 years, I would say sucking at it isn't a barrier to doing it. Yeah, look, that applies to everything, including acting. So, all right, everybody. I will say thank you very much. I'm not going to try to say goodnight to everyone because there's just too many people. But hello, Rebel Time Lady, and Leon, and Jack, and Gervais, and 30 years of coding. Wow. Now you're making games. Oh, that's really neat. Look how easily distracted I am. That's terrible. My programming experience is limited to DOS. Oh my God, remember DOS? The batch files? Oh, I used to love writing batch files. Oh, I loved that. And doing environmental, were they called environmental variables? The ones that could actually pull stuff from the information from the operating system? Oh, I used to love doing that. Anyways, all right, I'm out of here. I will say, use Unity 3D. Ooh, yeah, I've played a little bit with Unity 3D. That's kind of fun. Yeah, no kidding, Randy. Randy the Magic Man and myself we're going to be chasing squirrels on Thursday, I think. Definitely sounds like we're going to be. Long live and panic. It's so true, Thundercats. I will say, be safe, be kind, be brilliant, and until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! And you better see me tomorrow because it means I've exercised again. All right. God, exercise. See, I'm already dreading exercise tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Bye. And thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much again for the crazy super chat stuff. That's very, very, very kind of you. And I look forward to spending your money. Thanks very much, folks. Cheers.